let y'all out every Wednesday, I guess. Let y'all.
Nice to keep us trapped in here.
Maybe I should check on Tuesday and Monday how y'all are still in there, not just on Wednesday.
So last year at Navy, Mason got his debut to Pirate Nation. Holton didn't get to play. How has he been focused in on kind of getting back into Navy mode?
Holton or Mason?
Holton and Mason.
Well, Holton's just jacked up about life right now, okay? Not that he's not always jacked up about life, but I've just seen a whole new, enthusiasm to Holton Ahlers. And, this is what he loves to do, and he's seeing some success. He's playing terrific football himself, and he's having fun, and he's really enjoying this part. We all know it's going to come to an end at some point in your life. I don't think it's coming anything quick, but it's coming. And so you start counting your blessings, and you're glad that you got this opportunity to do this. And I think he just loves winning. I've never seen anybody who wants to win any more than him. I think it was very evident last week. What was it, second play of the game? He runs those guys over. That's your starting quarterback out there. So, I was cringing a little bit, but it fired the team up. So, yeah, that's the way he's practicing. That's the way he's playing. Now, Mason's had an interesting week because we've watched a lot of the film from last week's game, and Mason is so much better right now. He knows so much more about what he's doing than he did at that time, and he's just cringing. He's like, God, Coach, I was just awful last year, And I'm like, but that's not important now. What's important now is that you're ready to go. And if you had to play or you get to play this Saturday, I think you can go in there and do the job. And I think he thinks that too. So the backup quarterback's life is interesting in that, you want your team to win and you want to be a good teammate, but you want to play. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want anything to happen bad to Holton or whatever, but he's dying to play. So you just have to kind of balance that. And you got to keep working, knowing his time's coming. It's definitely coming. We'll find out when. But, the whole team knows this is going to be a huge challenge now. I've got some bad experiences playing Navy. I've got one good one. I'm going to bank on that one. That's the one that keeps coming back to me when we beat them up there. It'd be tough. They, senior day, I think, last home game, they said that. And so, obviously, I think a lot of people are going to look at them and go, well, that's 2-17. But if you watch the film, you would not know that if you didn't see the end of the score. Their defense ain't 2-7. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the other side of the ball, so I don't know anything about the other side. But their defense is like third or fourth best defense in the conference, statistically. And so a lot of the same guys. That 54, he's been there since I was in high school. I don't know how the man can have eligibility left. I mean, it's unbelievable. So they're going to be challenging.
They're pretty multiple defensively, kind of similar, I guess, to the Blake scheme. Just how much problems does that create?
They're a nightmare. I'm telling you, they really are. I know the defense coach is talking about having to play Navy, once a year. It's such a unique deal. But defensively, they are like our defense in one package. But they've been in the system a little longer. They've got several packages. They start the year out, they're in the three safety defense. They've gone to the juice of the year. And so they're still doing that, but then they're doing all the other stuff. But they blitz like Blake and them do. So, I mean, they're coming from everywhere. You'd swear, I count every time. They got to be 12 of them out there. Can't be 11 guys doing all that. So we have to really prepare for a lot of different schemes. And then, of course, the challenge is, they're not going to let you have the ball much. Now, we've had 2 games in a row. We've had 10 possessions. One of those possessions was overtime last week. And one possession the week before was when we ran the clock out and took a knee. So we've been kind of keeping the ball a little bit, too. So it's going to be a battle of who can break the other one's spirit, I guess, or who can hit the ball the most.
So what about that defense with Navy that, really gives you the biggest problems that or how do they compare to anybody else that you play?
Well, I think the thing that gives you concerns is that they're just so tough. They're mentally and physically. They, no matter what the score is, no matter what's going on, they play hard the entire time. And everybody plays hard at this level, but there's definitely some ups and downs. You catch some people low for a little bit. You catch a little bit of the mode of how the game's going. People, have a little bit more, up than they do some other times. They're always just wide open. They're extremely physical. It's as everybody says, it's recess for these guys when they get to go play, so they take it out now. You know what I'm saying? And these are guys who are going to be, protecting our freedom, I guess. So I'm glad they're pretty tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of glad about that. It's kind of bad when you're playing them. And then just the multiplicity of their defense. They do so many things. They move everybody around. The kids got to be really smart. I don't know how they can do and how they can line up in so many different alignments with kids playing, you know, a linebacker, and then he's playing a defensive end, he's playing an inside linebacker, he's playing like he's a nickel back, and you think, how can that guy know all those assignments? But you don't see him making a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that. You have to really, really execute, and you better play well, and that's the challenge.
18 of 26 on third down.
Hey, let's talk about that. There we go now. I go. Where have you been all day? Yeah.
Have you ever been a part of anything that crazy, that high of numbers?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. When we were JMU, we were always up in the 50 high percentile on third down. Now, we didn't have as many third downs because we made more first downs on first and second. And that day's coming. That day's coming for us too. You know, we've talked about the third down, and you know, going into this game, okay, amazingly that we had so much success. We're in the staff room and we're watching. It was third down, game plan night, and we put the third and short. Okay, 1 to about 3, and chatter just kind of went numb, and everybody just kind of started getting quiet. And when we watched, we turned the reel off, and we were like, wow. Nobody makes any first downs on third and short. Literally, one of the coaches said, well, here's a strategy. Let's just get it to second medium, take a knee, and don't get into third and short because nobody makes third and short. They were really, really good on third down, especially third and short. So we had a real specific game plan. We were going to spread them out. We were throwing the ball. So we're not running the ball and letting them just smack us and us not make it. So we came out and empty. We did a bunch of different things on third down. Holton loves that part of it, so he embraced it. The kids did good. They executed it. And I think that had a lot to do with it. And we got in a lot of third and shorts. It was amazing. So we were getting in a lot of third and shorts, and we had a good game plan, I think, but the kids did it. It's all the kids. And they executed that. So I didn't realize we'd done that well on third down till Malcolm kind of grinned at me a little bit and said, I hope they asked you about third down this week. And I said, I think we did good, right? I felt like we did good. And then he told me that we had done that well. So that wasn't our issue this week. We had another issue, but, you know, that's on to the next thing, I guess. But, yeah, thank goodness we did good on third down, I guess.
Obviously, they weren't all called, but I think there was about 3 third downs in a row where Holt decided to turn it into a QB draw.
Yeah.
Did he love all that running?
Well, I think one of them was a quarterback draw. The other thing Holton has really started to do really, really well, and I guess this kind of stems back to the Houston deal when there was a couple of times that we're like, now look at the tape here. What should you have done? He's like, I should have taken off and I should have run with the ball, and he didn't. And he's really embraced that. He's done a better job in practice of trying to do it like it's a live snap, even though it's not. They don't hit the quarterback out here, but, you know, so they can get a little lazy if you don't stay after him. And he's really pulled down some balls. And, you know, that some of that's because they're dropping 8. And when they drop 8, there's one more defender. And you know, they don't get very good pass rush, and there's one more lane open, and he's kind of just taken off and seen that open window. And like I say, he's throwing his body around a little bit more than I'd like for him to. Now, he's not very good at sliding is what we've learned. And it's amazing to him. I said, Hope, because everybody was laughing, and he slid a couple of times, and it was just so ugly. I was like, Hope, you're a baseball guy. How do you not know how to slide? He said, Coach, I hit home runs. I didn't have to slide. So I said, well, that's a good answer. You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate that answer, and that's true from what I remember. He did hit a lot of home runs. But that turf, not to criticize, was really, really bad. There should have been a law against playing on that turf out there. And it scraped him up the first time he slid, and after that, he was doing everything he could do not to put any skin on that turf. So that's why it was such an ugly slide. But, yeah, you make some third down sometimes when the quarterback runs the ball. That breaks the defense down. I know when I coached on defense, that used to be the thing that drove us the craziest. Man, we covered them all. We got a good pass rush. Oh, my God, the quarterback took off and ran. Oh, we didn't have that stop. You know, he's not supposed to do that. So maybe that's driving them crazy.
A couple of the other players made reference to the turf. What was so different about that compared to what they practice on?
I tell you what, it reminded me of the old Astro turf back in the day when you have to be a little old to even know what that is, I guess, right now. It was just worn out. It's just literally worn out. And, you know, the first third down or whatever of the series, we throw an interception. And that was a stupid call by me because I tagged a comeback route onto a 4 vertical concept, okay, which that's not important, but my evaluation going in was we would be able to run comeback type routes, stem type routes, and everybody had done that to them had been open. And I didn't take into account that the turf was so bad and all the receivers were slipping. They couldn't stop and they couldn't come back to the ball. So Holton throws it on time. He did what he was supposed to do. Bad call by me because I'm running a route and they couldn't. And so eventually we threw about 3 of those And hey, dummy, quit calling those routes. They can't stop and come back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they were all complaining about. Besides that, it just was scraping them to death because it was like glass out there. But you just could not get any traction. They were just slipping. They were just sliding on it.
We talked about third downs. So we got to talk about red zone.
Yeah, I knew you were coming with it. I knew that.
But they were pretty much blitzing every time they got inside.
Yes,
the
they
10.
were.
So is it just a matter of at some point you got to make a play in the passing game?
Well, okay. So the second series we drive 75 yards. We get a score, which was a great answer. I was really proud of the kids for doing that on the road. Team that is a good team and has played well at home. We come back and we answer, and we were a little stubborn. We jammed it in there, and I ran the ball, and Holt made a terrific play to score. And we're like, man, they're zero coverage. It's all out blitz when you get down here inside the 10-yard line. That makes it hard to run because they're just bringing everybody in there. There's no seam. Okay, so the natural thing to do is, well, you got one-on-one coverage. Let's throw the football. And so we had 3 in the first half, times inside the 10-yard lines. And, I probably should have run the ball a little bit more, but we had one-on-one coverage. We did drop a ball. We dropped a ball that was a touchdown, and so that was the right thing. And he made a bad throw on one. And that was different than what they had done, which, you expect them to change up a little bit. But it was just all-out blitz. And everybody hates kicking field goals, but I'm glad we did. I'm glad he kicked them. I'm glad he made them. You know what I'm saying? Because points are points. But we would love to have scored touchdowns. I don't know realistically, are you going to score 3 out of 3 against a good defense? You're really playing well if you do. I sure would have liked to got 2 out of 3. That would have made the game better for me, but probably wouldn't have been as good for the fans. I guess it's more exciting to win it in overtime. But that's kind of that situation there. They played really well down there, and I guess I got to call better plays.
Holton seems to be getting the ball out of his hands faster than before. He seems to have more of a green light to run than either he wanted to take before.
Yeah.
Was there a time where you guys would have rather him not have run as much? Is that was part of the issue, or was he just not taking off?
I think I agree with everything you're saying there. He is definitely throwing the ball the best I've ever seen him throw the ball. Part of that, I think, is the decision making. Is that he's making decisions and he's playing faster because he's making decisions quicker and he's throwing it on time. He's believing in the receivers. He's always believed in Snead. So whenever Snead is able to get loose, we've always played pretty well. Ryan Jones is really helping things because now he's gained a lot of confidence in him. He's gained confidence, I think, in Audie. He's always had that chemistry with CJ. CJ's playing really well. His stats might not be what they were year one, but he's playing way better than he was year one. He's playing at a much different level. So I think he's got confidence. We just got a little bit of momentum like that. The running part of it, we're still not calling just a lot of quarterback runs. It's more him pulling it down on passes and taking off. So sometimes we do call some quarterback draws, but a lot of those are him just taking off. I think he's just got to the point where he's saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, and he's not worried about anything else, and he's just playing wide open like that, and it's helping us a lot. We always say to the quarterbacks, we need about 4 to 5 really good runs, each game out of you. You're going to have to do that. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. Right now, I think he's, thinking about it more or just reacting better. I think his decision-making, he's just kind of freed his mind a little bit. He's always had a lot of pressure on him, I think. He's always tried to be perfect. He's always felt like, he's got to do so much. He's got the expectation is so high for him. I feel a little bit like that about the whole offense. It kind of comes with that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What are we, 3rd or 4th in the conference? I think we're 3rd in the conference in total offense, and I think everybody thinks we stink. And I think we stink, but that's my job to think that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little surprised sometimes everybody else is not recognizing, that. And I think he feels that pressure. Oh, we got to score 100. No, we don't have to score 100. We have to score more than they score and win the game. And right now I think he's starting to buy into that and just saying, you're right, winning's fun. Let's just go win as a team. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.